It's Mooney, and it's been a long time coming. And it's the start of a new year, for me anyway. I take February because that's the date of my birthday. I take that as the time to say, okay, where is my year starting? And that comes up a lot in the class that I've been teaching of where do we begin the year, right? So for me, it's February. And I took time to really figure out what it is that I wanted to achieve, what it is I wanted to focus on, how I wanted to like show up this year. And one of the things that really came forward in all my journaling and my meditation was really about now's our time to shine, right? If you're a spiritual teacher, a coach, or a guide, if you're somebody who's been wanting to launch your spiritual business, if you are launching your business but it's not going so great and you're trying to figure out how to like recalibrate and get things moving in the right direction, now's our time to shine, right? That's the year, that's my magic word for the year, or however you want to put it, is that I'm going to think about, is this helping me shine? Is this helping others shine? Is this part of us all collectively saying, look at the world around us, look at what's going on. It's not looking great from a lot of perspectives. Now's our time to shine and step up and show people there's another way to be. Now's our time to go out there and do the thing that we love doing, and doing it without any fear or reservations or, sense of judgment or a fear of maybe that we're not good enough or we're not talented enough, but really just to be able to go out there and do the thing that we love doing and do it in such a way that people can see it, right? That's one of the things that I want to focus on. That's one of the things I think we should all be focusing on right now, is saying, okay, how do I take this special gift or this special perspective or this amazing opportunity or ability that I have to help people find healing, growth, transformation, empowerment, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve for people out in the world, and maybe also a little bit for yourself. How do we start taking that out there and letting it shine on social media platforms, on your own website if you have one, in the way that you show up at events and other ways for connecting with people, the way that you appear when you're just smiling and posting something on Facebook or on Instagram, like the way that you start to exist in the world. The little secret or the little smile or the little twinkle that I want to share with everybody, that comes from being up to something, right? Having that little kind of secret with yourself that's not going to be a secret for that much longer because you're going to be out there doing this thing in a big way, but having that little twinkle in your eye or that sparkle in your energy is what happens when you're up to something. And not only when you're up to something, but when you're up to something with a clear and focused energy and attention to that which you want to do and the thing that you want to do and how you want to do it, right? So really what we're trying to look at is, how do I start showing up in a way that people can see me and that people can interact with me and that I can be out there doing my own thing and not necessarily worry about how it's going to land for people. And I know that's like a lot to process all at once, right? There's a lot of energy in this video because I'm excited to finally be back in front of you again now that I've sorted myself out. So at this moment in time, there's a wish or a hope or a prayer or a dream or something in there that you want to do. But the difference between that and a goal that's achievable is that you have to have a plan. So, one of the biggest things that I focus on when I'm working with people, whether it's like huge, well known spiritual teachers or somebody who's just starting out and everybody in between, is to really focus on those parts of it, right? To say, okay, what is it that you want to create? And how do we transform that dream into a goal that then becomes achievable? To me, one of the biggest ways to do that is to really make an agreement with yourself to shine. I'm going to let my gifts shine through. I'm going to let my soul come shining through. I'm going to let my voice come shining through. I'm going to let the energy that I have around this thing that I love doing come shining through in every opportunity that I have to share it. So whether that's you bumping into people at a dinner party and they're like, hey, what have you been up to? Oh, it's so great. I'm launching my spiritual business. I'm sharing my gifts with the world. I'm bringing my healing to people who really need it. I'm sharing this thing that I figured out that worked for me that I'm pretty sure could work for other people. However it is that you choose to frame it or how to say it, talking about it and having the right energy and state around it while you're talking about it can make a huge difference in how you appear, not to other people, but how you appear to yourself, right? How you're able to bring the energy of what you're doing and share that with you so that it doesn't feel like work all the time and it doesn't feel stressful all the time and it's not weighing on your mind all the time, that it's something you get to celebrate and have fun with and share as often as you have the opportunity. So I'm in a state of total shine, right? That's a decision that I'm making. It's a choice that I'm making, to be really specific. It's a choice. I'm waking up every day to say, how can I shine today? How can I get out there and shine whatever it is that I need to out there today for whoever might need to hear it, whether they're going to hear it immediately, they're going to hear it a year from now, they're going to hear it 10 years from now, however it ends up happening. I'm not in control of that, but I am in control of how I show up, right? I'm in control of the consistency that I have showing up here for all of you, or the ability that I have to say, set out a newsletter and have that done, or post on social media. So all of these things are things that I'm focusing on in a really big way moving into 2025, because I believe, as we see out there in the world, more people are becoming spiritually aware or awakened than ever before. So if you look at the history of the world and the way that everyone's been part of some form of organized religion, more and more people are shifting. And it's just a tiny shift, right? It's 1% that are shifting into the direction of, hey, I want to just figure spirituality out for myself. I don't necessarily align with the rules that are set down in any specific, way, and I'd rather figure it out on my own, or I'd rather have it be a personal journey, or I'm really struggling with something and I can't find guidance from that other place. Where do you think all these people are going to be looking? They're going to be looking for teachers and coaches and guides and people to help them figure out what way feels good. I talk a lot about how in some ways that there's like motivation and personal development is like, if you do A, you're going to get B, and it's very linear. And the thing that I've always loved about spirituality is it's a much rounder approach. It's like, these are all the amazing ways in which you could interact with spirit. Figure out which one vibrates at the same frequency you do, or figure out which one feels good, and then chase that until you figure something out. And if you want to continue doing that, keep doing it. If you want to go in another direction, go in another direction. And one of the students in my class made a really great point that it's a wheel. That no matter which rung of the wheel that you're on, you're still heading towards your higher self. You're still heading towards your purpose. You're still heading towards your spiritual path. Just by exploring things and questioning things and trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. So for those of you who have been doing this for a long time, or maybe you just started, but you're very certain that this is what I want to do, right? I want to be able to take my gifts, I want to be able to share them with the world, and I want to be able to have an amazing time doing it and feel supported every step along the way. That's what the Muniverse is about. That's what we're trying to do here in this program, in our community online, across social media platforms, and every corner of the internet and the world that you can find it, is to be able to provide support and resources for anybody on any step along the journey who really wants to do this. And as you get closer and closer to working with me, perhaps some of the things that become clear is like, I really want to work hard. I want to make this a big focus for myself. I want to make sure that I'm committed to it. I want to be held accountable. I want to have the support of a community, and all of those things that start to make us really good at something. I learned this a long, long time ago working for this guy named Tony Robbins, that if you want to be really good at something, there are some things you have to have. One of them is spaced repetition, right? So the ability to keep continuing the journey and having a peer group to help you get there, right? And having this drive and this purpose and this understanding of who you are and what you want to do. And a lot of times, I'm sorry to say, we as spiritual people are sometimes too good at too many different things, right? Maybe we're a little bit empathic and we have a little bit of psychic or mediumship and we really like Akashic records, or we're into energy healing, or something totally awesome and out of the left field, and a unicorn playing in the Akashic realms. Whatever it is that occurs to you, that's what you are. It's really great to be able to figure out how that fits into your own journey, but also simultaneously fitting into like the industry at large, right? I've been doing this for a really long time. I've worked with a lot of people in this industry of all levels, from all walks of life, that are trying to figure out this one thing. Who am I, and how do I share that with the world in a way that creates an impact, right? And if we start to look at the things we have to do as entrepreneurs, as spiritual business people, as spiritual sensitives who have to go out and sometimes do something doesn't feel good in the moment, but it's a part of learning where the edges are of where we're comfortable, and then expanding just a little bit outside of that to see what we can figure out in that little area of discomfort, or that comfort zone. How do we say, like, the space between the comfort zone and what lies outside of it, to be able to play in that area, to say, okay, what does it really look like if I do this? Who am I if I let go of this belief? Who am I if I attract this type of attention? What do I choose to do with it? How am I going to show up in this way? What's driving me forward? These are all the questions that sometimes we struggle with because we're like, I don't know. Spirit's telling me one thing, life is telling me something else. Opportunities are coming my way, and I'm not sure what to do with them or how to make good decisions or good choices about it that feel aligned with the agenda of my soul, as my good friend Neil Donald Walsh once told me. So it's answering all of these questions and finding a sense of certainty in it that's going to give you the motivation to keep going, right? That's what's at the center of being able to say, I know I want to shine, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get there. That's part of the plan, is being really, really clear and focused on who you are in the context of like spiritual teachers in the spiritual industry, if you want to call it that, right? And being able to say, okay, I'm not like this, I'm not like this, I am like this. And this is what I want to do. And then the added part of it that gets so exciting is that it's your story. It's your personality. It's your voice. It's your face. It's your energy. It's your triumphs, your traumas, your breakthroughs, your breakdowns, your everything that makes it uniquely you. So, gone, I think, in 2025 is this question of, am I good enough? Do I have enough experience? Of course you do. You're here. You're doing the thing. You're taking the classes. You're reading the books. You're having your moment in the morning to be quiet and get in touch with spirit. Whatever practice you have, all of that gets enhanced by the experiences, the results, the breakthroughs, and every piece in between of what it is that you've experienced as you've tried to do this thing, as you've been doing this thing. And to be able to shed a little bit of light on the path for other people who might be curious, to say, if you're attracted to this, why don't you come on over and check this out? If this resonates with you, why don't you come and check this out? If something about this is just is just dancing around in your imagination, come and check this out, right? There's so many different ways to say it, but the part that's the most important is that you're out there doing it. And I know a lot of times now, it's coming up in my class a lot too, of like, I don't really like what Facebook is doing. I don't really like what this platform's doing. I'm not a big fan of whatever's happening here. Part of making those choices and getting out there and shining means, even though I don't love this, I know that somebody out there needs to hear this. I know that somebody out there may encounter this or interact with it at a time that makes sense for them, at the perfect moment on their journey to get them to where they need to go. And that part of what we do as spiritual teachers is show up in places and continue to say the thing that maybe not everybody wants to hear in the moment, but eventually they'll hear it. Or that they'll come to a determination that, oh, okay, that was the right message at the right time, but I was still working on something before I could get there. And that's us showing up, right? That's us having a plan. It's us being able to say, okay, I'm going to do it in this way. And not in a way that puts you in a state of stress or overwhelm or anxiety, which could easily happen, right? Because there's so many different ways to do it and so many different platforms and a lot of pressure to be able to step into that arena alone, knowing that you don't have to do it alone, right? Knowing that you can have a community of people that support you, people to run ideas past, people who can give you ideas, people who can encourage the things that just light you up. Sometimes you don't even know, right? I think that's another issue that a lot of people have, not just spiritual people. We don't know what lights us up. We don't know what gets us out there to shine. And sometimes it feels like, oh, it should be this. But when I do this thing, it doesn't do it. It doesn't happen. There's no sparkle. But here's this thing that I haven't considered. And now all of a sudden it's really clear to me this is the direction I'm going to go in for now. Nobody has all the answers, right? We're not here to save everybody in every single way. But we really are here to just share our experiences and be able to say, here's what worked for me. If you're attracted to this, if you're interested in this, if this is something you've been looking for, why don't you come and check it out, right? That's what it is. That's what it means to get out there and shine. Another way of saying that is marketing. Another way of talking about it is promotion and self-promotion, which a lot of people get uncomfortable about, especially spiritual people, because we're so sensitive. Oh, I couldn't say that. I couldn't possibly say that about myself. I couldn't say that I've helped make millions of dollars for the clients that I've worked with. I couldn't possibly say that I've impacted millions of people with the work that I've supported in creating out there in the world and the work that I've done myself. I couldn't possibly talk about all of the wonderful people that I worked with and all the things that I learned from them. I also had to get to that place. I also had to work on being able to say these things and say in a way that didn't feel icky, but say in a way that felt empowering. I'm not saying any of these things to make you think, ooh, he knows the secret to everything. I want to share with you that I feel very fortunate that I had so much experience and I've been uh, taught and mentored by so many of your favorite teachers to get me to a place where I can say, yeah, this is something I'm really, really good at. And I'm so proud to be able to share it with you. And this year, 2025, is all going to be about me stepping into that ability to shine for myself, to shine for all of you, to say, hey, there's another way to do it, or here's a way to do something that you've always wanted to do. But primarily, it's for me to get this thing that I've been dreaming and hoping and praying would happen out of me in a way that supports all of you. And by doing that, and by having a plan to get there, and by having this amazing community and this repetition of this thing that we're doing, so that we can keep doing it over and over and over again, I believe that we're all going to succeed. And success is going to look different to everybody. I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to make millions and millions of dollars. Can't do that legally. But what I can do is change the way you look at self-promotion, change the way that you look at shining, change the way that you even look at, dare I say, making dollars that you feel really, really good about. And even if you're not making those dollars, making moves that you feel really, really good about. And having that twinkle and that little sparkle in your eye that you're up to something. So let's all shine together in 2025. Let's keep doing the thing. I'm super excited. If you can't already tell, the way the energy's appearing, and I feel really aligned with this mission of being able to say, hey, there's another way to do this. And you don't have to do it alone. And that's the biggest thing that drives me, is I don't want anyone who wants to do this have to do it alone. Because it's so much more fun when you do it together. So we'll see you all very soon. I'm going to see you all over the place. I'm really excited to be sharing this with you. If you are curious about anything we're up to, come on over to the website at themuniverse.com, and you'll see what's been going on, and you'll have some cool opportunities to jump in and see what becomes possible for you when you have all of this support and these systems around this dream that you have. All right, we'll see you very soon.